Hello and welcome to Clay Creators. Today's model is going to be a little bit different. We are doing one of our quick builds, which basically gives you the opportunity to kind of use your own imagination and choose the colours that you want to use for part of it. We're going to be doing the Key Stage 1 version of the unicorn. So we're going to need our measuring spoons, our creator cards and tools, obviously our clay, airtight container if possible, if you have one. Again, not always quite as necessary with the quick builds, but again, if you're stopping and starting your build, pausing the video, it might be a good idea to keep your clay in there during the build. So going on to the model, like I say, you get to choose kind of the decoration colours. A couple of options here. So the white is what we're going to be working with, and then it's the mane and the horn that you kind of pick and choose. So like I say, we've got a couple of combinations here. We've got pink and purple, we've got a yellow and orange. So again, as you go through, once we get to that stage, it's going to be up to you to make your decision. You can pick whatever colours work best for you. I think I'll do a different version again, just so you get to see another option. But I'm going to just move them off the table and we're going to get started. There's a few different sections that we will do, but very similar kind of shapes that we'll be making all the way through this. Okay, so we're going to get started with our white clay, and we're going to be filling up our spoons, and we need a number 4 and a number 3 of white clay to start off with. Okay, oops, good start, throwing things on the floor. We'll get that in a moment. So white clay, like I say, a number 4 and a number 3 spoon. And that is going to be our body. So number 4 and number 3. Now remember, when you're measuring with your spoons, you fill your spoons up to kind of level at the top. Try not to have the clay brimming over the top. So I've got my number 4 and number 3. So that I know is the body. For the 2 legs that we're going to do at the front, we need to fill up our number 2 spoon. So 2 legs, and we need number 2 spoon filling up twice. Same again, nice and level on the top. And finally, oops, got a bit clay stuck. Finally, for the final bit of white that we need before the little delicate bits, we're going to do the head. Now the head is measured at a number 5 spoon. Okay, so we'll fill up a number 5. Again, I'm keeping all these bits of clay separate so I know where they are. I now have a number 5 spoon on this side of the table. Okay. Pop the spoons down for a moment, clay away into your pots, keep it nice and fresh for another while. Okay, we're going to start with the body, and all we're going to do, we'll give that a stretch, get the body back nice and smooth, get rid of any lines. I'm going to roll with my hands. I find I get the best results from that. You may find it's easier to use the table or your work surface in front of you. So give it a nice roll, make it nice and flat. Okay, I'm going to move them out of the way. All we're going to do, we're going to gently roll this into kind of a teardrop or pear shape. So it's a little bit pointy at the top. We're keeping it 3D, so we're not making it flat. And I'm just going to gently press at one end a little harder than I would all the way along. So I've done that very gently. We're kind of going for around about 3 centimeters in height. Again, give or take, it doesn't have to be perfect. So we've kind of gone for an egg sort of shape, pear, teardrop, whichever way you think describes it best. So there's your body. We're going to do the same again with the legs. The legs are obviously going to be a little bit thinner, there's less clay. And these are going to fasten at the front of the body. So same again, like I say, we'll roll into the balls, give them a stretch, get rid of all that, all those lines, little lumps. Okay, so gentle press from one end. Again, we're looking for around about 3 centimeters. We want it to be the same size or height as your body. 2 legs, pretty similar in height, and then all we're going to do is put them on at the front, on kind of either side of your unicorn, just touching the floor, leaving the belly open. Now you might want to put a little detail onto the bottom of the legs now, so like the hoofs. It's up to you whether you want to use a tool, whether you want to pause the video and maybe put a little bit of black clay on there. Depends on how much detail you want to go into. I'm just going to put a couple of little lines on now. Make it look like He's got some little hoops on there. Okay. Then I'm going to go on to the head. Now the head, believe it or not, is the same shape again. We're going to do the same again, a bit more clay this time. So it's going to be slightly bigger than the body that we originally started with. And this will obviously sit across the top. We're going to put a little detail on here before we move on to the decoration with the mane. So it's the same again. It's gentle press from one end. We're going to get a bit of a pear shape. Now I'm leaving that on the table a little. I'm going to give it a little press down to give it a flatter bottom. So this bit will be the bit sitting on. And at the same time, I also want to give my unicorn a little smile. I don't think you can ever have a grumpy unicorn, so I'm going to give him a little smile. And at the same time, I also want to a little nose. So I'm not going to go into too much detail with the nose. Again, you may want to put some more clay on there. I'm going to just give him 2 little nostrils on there. And then we're going to pop some eyes on the top and ears beside that. Eyes, 2 tiny pinches of black. Again, I'm going to go smaller for the definition. You may want to do bigger eyes, and again, you might want to do a little bit more detail with the eyes. I'm just going to pop that little pinch of black clay in half. It was around about 0.5 to start off with on your creator card. So the smallest circle on here. I've cut that in half, and all I'm going to do is gently press them on either side. And then we're going to do some ears, like I said, on either side. Back to the white clay. And we're going to use our creator card to measure this one. And we are going to use the 1 centimeter circle measurement. So we need 2. Remember, when you measure with the creator card, the centimeter side of the card, they are balls. We don't squish them down. They're going to be, basically, we are measuring 1 centimeter balls. So when I put it on, I still need to be able to see the 1 centimeter ring around the clay. So I've got 2 good sized ones there. Lid on, keep my clay fresh. And we're kind of going to do the same shape again. This time flat, okay? So I'm going to flatten these out and kind of, again, point them at one end, kind of teardrop. So I'm going to press down, flatten them out a little bit, and then I'm going to use my fingers to pinch one end just to kind of give me a pointy end. Now your ears could be any shape you want. If you don't like the looks of these ears, again, with our quick builds, a lot of your imagination can be brought to life when on a lot of these parts. So I've got 2 ears, and they are the same sort of shape. I'm going to put them on. Now we go with the pointy ends in. So pointy end in, give it a little bit of press, and then I'm going to give a little definition by using my tool, and then I'm going to curve it over just a little bit. Right, head onto the body. A little press down. Just not pressing on too hard because you don't want to squish the entire model. So I'm just giving it a little gentle push. Now we should be starting to look like this. And now we get onto the decoration side that I was talking about, where you pick the colors that you want, okay? So I, in the past, have gone with an orange and yellow and a purple and pink. This time I'm going to go with a grey and black combo. Again, your choice. Okay, so I'm going to start off by mixing the grey to go on the top here. So I need some more white, and I'm going to fill up my number 2 spoon. White clay. And I'm going to add just a pinch of black clay. Now the black clay is very powerful, so I'm just going to add a touch of the black. If I'm not happy with the colour, I'll add a touch more, okay? So I've gone with a very, very small pinch of black, add that, give it a good mix. And my grey should, good grey. So from this grey I'm going to do the horn, and then I'm going to save some for the mane as well. So fully mixed. You can also do a part mix if you want. And when I say a part mix, we've done this in the past where you start to mix and you stop partway through instead of fully mixing. So both colours fully mixed, you kind of stop and you get a marble kind of swirly effect. Again, so another option for you to maybe try if it's something that takes your fancy. For the horn then, I'm going to snap a little off, and I'm going back to my creator card and I'm looking for a 1 centimetre again. Touch less. If you want to have a smaller version, take a little off. If you want a bigger one, completely up to you. Back to my starting position, back to a ball, and again, same shape again. I'm going to be pressing and rolling from one end to kind of give me a pointy end. And this time I'm going to go to the point where you kind of do have a nice sharp point for his horn, and flatten it a little bit at the other end if you want. So we should end up with a nice pointy horn. I'm going to place that top of his head. Just gently put it on. So we should be looking like this. The rest of the grey clay I'm going to prep ready to be made into the mane. So starting point, back to a nice smooth ball. And this time I'm going to roll this out completely, okay? Roll it out maybe to around about 10-12 centimetres. If you may end up with a little extra clay, depending on how thin you roll this out to. So again, we are gently rolling on your work surface, trying to get even pressure all the way along. If you don't quite get this right, first of all, it's fine. Roll it back into a ball, try again. Try and get nice and smooth. Oh, sausage, okay. I'm going to move that out of the way. I'm going to get some black clay now. And the black clay, excuse me, needs to be measured in your spoons again, and this time I'm going to fill up a number 1 spoon with my black clay. And get it on. Same again, we're going to roll this out into a nice even sausage. And you want to try and get this black clay, or your colour, whichever colours you've gone with, to the same sort of thickness as the first sausage that you've done. Now they might work out that one's way longer than the other. So the way I've got now, my black is some way shorter than the grey. So my grey is a little bit longer. I'm going to cut a little off. So you put them together, press them together slightly. Any extra clay that you don't need there, take a snip off. And you should have a black and grey next to one another. All we do then for the mane is give it a little twist and a little twirl together, and then we place it on and curve it round. So I'm just going to gently fold them around, give it a little twist all the way down. Being gentle not to kind of squash the circular shape that you've already got. You should end up with a twist. Place this on at the top of his head, just behind the horn. Run it down the back. Again, if you want to kind of do your own kind of little design there, twist it a little bit. Use your own imagination for your unicorn. So I've curved it round a little bit around the back. And that is your unicorn finished from our perspective. Like I say, it's now time for you to decorate. If you want to do some extra bits to him, obviously you're more than welcome to. Use your free play measurements. We normally go with a number 3 spoon of every colour if you want to use every colour. If you want to carry on with the same colours that you've used with the decoration, obviously it's like I say 5 number 3 spoons in total. If you're running low on clay, please head over to claycreators.com/shop to order more clay. Obviously there's other activities there. You can download our word searches, crosswords, activity sheets, and some questions and answers as well on other models that you may have done for parents to be testing you. Other than that, thank you ever so much for joining us today, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.